Good morning, gents. Happy New Year. It's been a long time, but it's a new morning, it's a new year, it's an old razor, and it's a 2.5 day beard growth. I never like to let it go this long because I just feel so grungy and it makes me, and plus it starts to show the old gray in the beard that you start to get as you age. You know what I'm talking about, boys and girls? Girls less so than boys. But so yeah, it's a new year. I was going to do a shaving video on January 1st, but I can't drink like I used to, and I didn't feel up to it on the 1st, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to get on here looking as bad and feeling as bad as I did after celebrating the new year with some fine Irish whiskey, and I think it was the Rumpelmans that somebody gave me at the end. That was not a good idea. Ugh. Anyway, let's start shaving, shall we? Today we're going to go back to, since it's a new year and it's a new video, and an old razor, we're going to try, instead of my old grungy one, see, Happy New Year, grungy one, we're going to use the 1958 Gillette Executive, gold-plated. So this one is marked D3, which means it's the third quarter of 1958, which is July through September. And this is the Executive model, which was quite a bit more expensive than the Fat Boy, which is very similar to its body size and shape. The knurling on the handle is different than the Fat Boy, and the price was quite a bit different. The Fat Boy was $1.95 in 1958, which seems like, wow, $1.95, things were so cheap, but adjusted for inflation, that was $16. So, you know, about a little bit less than the price you pay for just some blades for your Gillette Mach 3. But, so that was $16 for the Fat Boy. The Executive cost $5 in 1958, and that equates to $41. Can you imagine spending $41 on a razor? I guess so, because you can actually buy razors for just a little bit more than that. Now, single, double-edged safety razors like this for that price, and this one that cost $40 in our money back in 1958 is still being used today. It still looks like new. I mean, look at that thing. It was probably given as a Christmas gift to somebody that year and barely used. And so this is the twist to open, as you've seen in my other videos, the old twist to open, which I like, because then I don't have to fumble with unscrewing the tops and possibly cutting myself, with the feather platinum blades that I like to use. So I'm going to slide that right in there, show you how it feeds on, in case you haven't watched any of my other videos or don't know. And then you twist the bottom and make sure that it's tight. This thing is in such good shape. I got it at an antique store for like 30 bucks, so $10 less than I would have paid in 1958. And this is the adjustable, so you can go from very mild, number 1, all the way up to 9, which is more aggressive, meaning there's more blade showing. And I like to keep it at about 7 or 7.5. Your mileage may vary when it comes to all things shaving, as I've said before. And today we're going to shave with a brush, the cheap old brush I've been using for a long time. One of these days I'll get a fancy one. And a bowl this time. Let's change it up a little bit. This is another cheap bowl you can buy pretty much anywhere. And the old verbena soap that I still have a small amount of. Because I like it. It's very natural. And with this like 2.5 day growth, I want to use something that's a little more slick and can handle the beard better than the Barbasol that I normally like to use on a daily basis, which I get a lot of comments on in other videos. What are you using that nasty stuff for? Don't use that goop. Use Vanderhagen and this and that and Taylor of Old Bond Street and Mitchell's Wool Fat. And I'd like to do all those. I like to try those things, but I've got so many bills. So many expenses. I have offspring that I have to take care of, and well, you know what? I just go ahead and buy the Barbasol and use these soap pucks as long as I can. And but I use good razor blades, and I use a good vintage razor, so I splurge a little bit there. But yes, but if you like those things, man, more power to you. And just like anything in life, but in this, when we're talking about shaving, use what you like and use what works well for you. All right, so I'm soaping it up here. Got a pretty good lather going. Hold on, the music stopped. Let me turn the music back on. And somebody was asking me about the music. what music I play in the background. It's just iTunes radio. I turn it on a jazz station. This is kind of classic jazz. I'm not a big jazz guy, but I like the way it sounds in the background. And so that's what I do. I just turn on the iTunes radio, which is free. You don't have to pay for that if you've got an iPhone or iTunes somewhere on your laptop. And just find a station you want to listen to. So that's the music. I get questions about that sometimes. So I just took a shower. I've got a crazy new hairstyle I'm trying out here because I'm 45 years old and what the hell. And I'm going to wet my face. Get my beard all wet. It should be softened because I just took a shower, like I said. And I'm going to put the lather up. I need some more water. It's a little dry. So I'm just doing it in there. Somebody said of one of my videos that the lather was too thin. Well, maybe so, but still worked. Worked for me. I've seen some that are too thin, some that are too thick, some that are too dry. Just do what you can do, and if it works for you, it works for you, you know? It's all right. You can have a thin lather. You can have a real thick lather. You can have people comment on your lathers, which is kind of crazy. All right. There we go. It feels good with the brush because it's kind of getting around all those hairs, the 2.5 big growth, which starts to itch and irritate my skin. All right. Get it in some hot water. I'm not hungover still, am I? Hot water. And let's go with the feather blade on 7 and the Executive, the 1958. That's what I love about these double-edged safety razors. Like if I was trying this with this much beard growth with like just a regular old modern Gillette, like Mach 3 or any of those multi-blade cartridge razors, it would like pull and tug and hurt. But this just like goes right through, and I mean, it's one blade. It's double-sided. You just flip it around. You don't need all those extra blades and cartridges that cost $27 for 4 cartridges. Go on Amazon. I just had to replenish my supply of feather blades because I went through them. It took the better part of a year, I guess. And you get like 100 blades, 100 feather blades, which are the sharpest ones you can buy for, what, $11, $12? That's insane. That's why I love this kind of shaving so much. I discovered it back in 2011. It's now 2016. And it really agrees with me. But then I kind of like retro stuff. Anyway. Some people say men who take care of themselves and dress nice and all that stuff, they call them metrosexuals. They still call them that? I don't know. Maybe I should call myself a retrosexual. Maybe sex shouldn't enter into shaving. Perhaps? No? Yeah, I don't think so. Let's strike that from the record. Let's just talk about shaving, shall we? You don't want to hear about that kind of stuff. All right. So I've shaved very rarely with this Executive. Just because it's in such nice shape. And I need to really clean, like thoroughly clean my Fat Boy that I use on a daily basis because it is funky looking, as you well know, and which I also get comments on all the time. What do you think? If I started a GoFundIt campaign to get it cleaned and replated at Razor Emporium for $99, would you chip in? Would you chip in $1 towards the cleaning of this disgusting, poor, old... Look at it, it's disgusting. Would you? I don't know. Comment, leave a comment. Oh, hey, I'm done. Now I'm going to do 3 passes today. I feel so much better after that scraggly. You know, when you're married, you can kind of, well, people tend to kind of let themselves go a little bit when they're married, you know, in several different ways, but I wouldn't recommend it. Stay in shape. Stay off drugs. Don't drink as much as I did on New Year's Eve. Keep yourself presentable for your wife or your husband or whoever. Don't let yourself go to pot. Have some respect for yourself and you'll be happier. Your wife or your husband will be happier. But you can let yourself grow a beard every 2 or 3 days, you know. I'm going to put some more water on my face. Hold on. And I'll put the lather back up for pass number 2. So yeah, that's my relationship advice for you. Take care of yourself and try to stay in shape. I try. It gets harder and harder every year. I was doing really well up till Thanksgiving, and then just get derailed. This thing's pretty good. Look at that. Too thick, too thin, just right. Cheap bowl, cheap brush, and a verbena soap cube, like it's pure olive oil, and that verbena scent, which is what, like lemongrass, I believe. You can find it online. I'm not going to shave my nose, so let's get rid of that. But trim your nose hairs. Trim your ear hair. Trim your nose hair. All these things that your dad should have taught you if he didn't. And you only learn through trial and error later. Learn how to shave. Learn how to take care of yourself. So a lot of people, when they shave, their skin is very sensitive and they can't go against the grain for one of their passes. So don't do it if it hurts you, if it gives you razor bumps or nicks or irritation. Just stick to going down with the grain. That's okay. You'll still get a good shave if you do multi-passes with the grain. But my skin is slightly sensitive, I guess. But I can go against the grain without too much problem. Always moisturize with something after your shave. That was something I never did before I got into shaving with a safety razor. I never moisturized my skin afterward because, you know, it didn't even cross my mind. I wasn't that kind of a guy. I wasn't a metrosexual, I guess. But please do. Like, I ran out of that stuff that I normally use, that Everyman Jack. And I was using my wife's Lubriderm, which probably you shouldn't do, but it worked. And then when I was at my brother-in-law's house over the holidays, he had some of that old-fashioned, like, Clubman aftershave in, like, the yellow, it's like yellow liquid in a bottle that smells like your grandpa and smells like a barbershop, and I use that. I kind of like that. I might have to get some of that for myself. I looked in the store the other day, I didn't see any. All right, there's pass number 2. Feeling good, but there's still, can you hear that? A little bit of razor, or a little bit of hairs there. So I'm gonna dip my brush in the water down here again. Lather it up. So yeah, just get the right amount of water to soap ratio that works for you and your brush. It gives you the lather you want. Some people like to use shave oils. Go for it. Some people like to moisturize beforehand. Do it. Some people like to use expensive shaving pucks and badger hair brushes that cost hundreds of dollars. If you can afford it, do it. Do what makes you happy when it comes to shaving. Because usually, you know, it could be such a misery having to do it every day unless you can find something positive about it. All right. Let's go for pass number 3. I don't know. What do you think about this haircut? I was getting a lot of comments that people thought I looked like Nicolas Cage and Tom Petty, amongst others. That was funny. I like reading those comments. And it's nice when people have conversations back and forth in the comment sections of the video that are, you know, worthwhile, because you know how YouTube can be. It can be just a garbage pit of people commenting terrible things. But it's nice when people are asking for advice. I'm sorry I can't respond to every single question that I get, but there's some nice people that respond for me, it seems. Because this is where I go to learn how to do so many different things. Learn how to shave correctly, learn how to paint a bedroom. I've been learning how to play piano by watching YouTube videos. It's crazy. It's all free. Unless you pay for that YouTube Red stuff, but I'm not going to do that. All right, here we go against the grain. Now, if you see your lather starting to thin out, see how it looks kind of thin? Don't be afraid to go back in and make a little bit more, if you got the time. I got a little bit of time here. Go back in, get it in there. Something else about using brushes is that it's always kind of cleaning your skin as you're doing it. getting out the dirt from around the hairs before you shave, and probably getting rid of the dead skin that you're scraping off as you shave. And it feels good sometimes. I don't use it all the time. I don't use it, actually, most of the time I don't use a brush. And I didn't like the way it felt at first. It felt kind of weird. But like anything, you get used to it. And I like it. I imagine what it would be like with a really nice badger hair brush. This one is badger hair. I just got it at Target for, what, $8? It's that Shea Moisture Shave brush. You can see it. You'll find it. It's right next to these bowls. I think it's Vanderhagen, the bowl maker. They seem to be having... Oh, great. I got shaving cream in my hair. All right. I guess I'm going to have to... No. All right. Did I get one little nick right there? Maybe so. That's something else that happens when I don't shave. My skin gets a little bit more sensitive and starts to get red. I like that. All right, I'm going to wash off my face with cold water now. I got a bowl full of hot water. Hot water. Dang. I keep saying water. It's been a long time since I made one of these videos. All right. That feels pretty good. You know, they call it a baby smooth shave. I didn't try to go super baby smooth. I just did 3 normal passes like I always do. But it got pretty close. I'm sure my wife will thank me and my kids. Nobody wants to kiss on an old scratchy face, right? Do they? I don't know. I don't. At least I think I do. I don't know. I've only been the one that has the scratchy face. All right. So, done with that. Let's put the old face lotion on, the post-shave. I only put about that much. I probably don't even need that much. So this smells kind of minty. It's called Signature Mint. You can find it anywhere, pretty much. At Target. And we all know that Targets are in every single city right next to the Starbucks, sometimes with a Starbucks inside. All right. Well, there we go. That's it. I feel like a new man. And if you've ever felt a new man, you know what I'm talking about. Do I get any nicks? With some redness? But that's just from my skin not having been shaved in a couple of days. So I'm going to clean up everything here. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them. If you have any requests for anything at all when it comes to shaving or information, let me know. And maybe one of these days I'll tell you what this thing is. What? It's a mystery. Some people need it, some people don't. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. Happy New Year, everyone. I'll continue to post these, and thanks for watching.